How should a recruiter really look at a military spouse's resume? Because obviously there's going to be some lateral career moves, there's going to be some gaps. How is it going to be the best way for a recruiter to look at a military spouse's resume?
Sure, that's a really great question. So, in my opinion, focus less on those gaps, right? Because as a recruiter, you're trained to look at, well, why was this person, unemployed for X number of years?
Mhm.
Well, let's look at what that individual did prior to that employment gap, because if you see that they were in some sort of a meaningful career, then you can hopefully assume that they it's probably due to the fact that where they landed. Some, unfortunately, some locations that your service member may end up does not always give you an opportunity for a great career, especially if you are expecting someone to be working in an office. There are some pretty remote locations that you may end up in. There are other countries that it's not necessarily an easy task to find yourself a meaningful career. So I think that's a big piece of it. Look at their education. It's You can see if someone is a driven individual, then they have, done a lot of those things leading up to, potentially having a gap in their resume. They've been in great jobs. And sometimes, like you mentioned, sometimes they are in locations that don't have, the meaningful career type of position. But I think that you can still look at the fact that they took the opportunity to work as a positive, even if there wasn't a great career opportunity, but they still, put that on their plate as another part of their daily life, aside from their home life and their children and all of the other things that are expected of you as a military spouse.